Hello, back from holiday. Oh, company of a spider, and it's been a couple of weeks we've been back now. So I just wanted to put out a video really because it's something that I want to keep doing, and I've got something to talk about. So the holiday, where did we go? What was it like? And it was our second time there, so we knew already we liked the place, Kefalos Kos Greece, and it is a throwback to how Greece hasn't changed massively, but it has changed in certain other islands. It's gotten quite expensive, but Kos actually and Kefalos in Kos has retained a lot of old charm, and the prices are reasonable mostly for everything you go. So you can have a good week, 10 days, and not feel like your bank's been raided. So plus for it being economical, you can get good deals out there as well. Don't go by star ratings if you look at things. We've stayed now twice in 2-star places and they're perfectly fine. We had last year we stayed at Yanis the Beekeepers, which was a 2-star, but it was you'd call it 3 or 4 stars in other places, other countries. So the star system always be a bit wary for and try and sort of read between the lines. This year we stayed up on what we call the hill. There is a village up on the hill, and then there's a sort of a centre and a strip down by the beach, and which is Kamari Bay, and Kefalos is the village up on the hill really. So we stayed halfway up the hill or a third up the hill, and so we got a good walk in all the time. And there was a shuttle bus about 4 or 5 times a day that would run up and down. So we used it a couple of times. Otherwise, we just got on with the walk, and it wasn't too bad. There's some steps that cut out part of the looping road area, and we didn't find it too much. And then there was an alternative pathway down towards the port and the beach that side. Apart from a little bit, the beach is a bit rocky around Kefalos though, until you go away from sort of the northern, sort of eastern end of Kamari Bay. But a lot of great beaches on Kos. You're going to probably rent a car, so don't worry about that too much. Some really lovely restaurants. I'd recommend Kompologaki and Tanipota. I'm surprised I remembered it because I don't usually remember it. We stayed the second time at the Anthoula, as I said, just up the hill a bit, so not the best location. Again, it was a 2-star. One of the best pools in a Greek hotel I've actually been by. Not for the lounges, but the actual size of the pool per guest really. So there was plenty of space in there. And we went 2 weeks ago, so it's just at the end of September and mid to end September. No, it's probably second week in September. Sorry, but it was roasting hot, and the room was actually too hot at times at night. There was no airflow through the room. We did change rooms. They did, after a bit of huffing and puffing, accommodate us in that area because we didn't sign up for an adjoining room, which meant that vocals, the privacy wasn't there. So we weren't happy with that. We did change, and then there were no issues with the room, and could recommend it on that basis. So I always like going new places and not returning to places. But I don't think I'd want to return to the Anthoula necessarily. It does come with a breakfast, which I more often than not left. Coffee was very weak, and you could only have 3 cups of it. So they did know how to charge for cocktails and things which weren't particularly well made. So in some ways, I think they do deserve more their 2-star rating. But you will be comfortable there. You probably need to get your aircon, which was 8 a day, and so yeah. But obviously, you're not supposed to stay in your room when you go traveling. So it's a base, isn't it? So it's a perfectly good base. Definitely would recommend Yanis the Beekeeper. The pool not quite as big, but the rooms were better. It felt a lot smaller, but it was better located for Kamari area, and not too much. We don't really go out for nightlife, and I just feel you sit there, and if they're not going to even put sort of music on other than just the 80s reggae or stuff, or if there's nothing of interest and there's not a buzz going on, I may as well be on my balcony drinking than be in a bar spending €13 on a cocktail, although they are a bit cheaper in Kefalos. And then you go up to Tingaki where we've stayed as well. So yeah, this will be our third time in Kos, so it's becoming an island that we really like. I've been to Skiathos and Zakynthos, and I've been Rhodes and Crete, so a little bit of experience there. But yeah, so that's my review of Kefalos in Kos for this trip. We actually had a Jet2 plane that was not full and full of toddlers screaming, so I like to say Jet 2-year-old kind of flight. So it was actually a comfortable flight there and back, and we timed it right so that we were in the resort all day and got the transfer like 7 o'clock in the evening, which ended up being picking us up 8 or so. We were at the airport by 8:30. Flight through the night, slept quite well through it, which is a bonus, and then you're pretty tired driving. We flew from Stansted, so you're pretty tired driving back home is the only thing with that, but you get that final day, which seems worth it to us. So yeah, and also we got up really early to go on the trip, so we got there and didn't lose. We only lost half the day through travel, where it felt like that, whereas last time we actually arrived and it was almost midnight checking into the hotel. We just lost the whole kind of night. It was just, yeah, try not to do that as well. So yeah, well, I'll be vlogging a little bit more now. I've started to get caught up after the trip away, and hope you're all well. Hope you're all adjusted to the new temperature that's around. September's actually, October now is actually doing quite well, and we're lucky, but we're going to have to adjust to that time change, and then winter just comes rocking in, doesn't it? So yeah, and then Christmas, boom, and New Year, and that's it. The year is gone. So anyway, thanks for watching. Bye bye.